everybody, it's your girl Nell, and welcome to another episode of Simply Nell's Tiny Studio. Thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, think about becoming a sustainable member, hanging out with your girl Nell in the Tiny Studio Members Only Lounge. We hang out there in the Members Lounge twice a week, just talking it up. You get behind the scenes information about what's coming up here in the Tiny Studio and a lot of other pertinent details about Nell and the activities of the Tiny Studio that I do not necessarily share to the general public. So please think about becoming a sustainable member of Simply Nell's Tiny Studio. Those directions and all those links and whatnot are found in the description box below. So it is Wednesday, child. Thank you so much for hanging out with me here in the Tiny Studio. And you know what's getting ready to happen, don't you? It's Wednesday. So it is what? It is Dreadlock Love, baby. You know what time it is. It's that time that we talk about all things Dreadlock love, care, and maintenance. So thank you so much for tuning in to this series here on the Simply Nell's Tiny Studio channel. Thank you so much for your comments, your suggestions, and the questions that you've left me about Dreadlock Love, Care, and Maintenance. I have been a Dreadlock Love Diva, Locknista Queen, for 23 years. I have been a professional loctician for 20 years, and I would like to share, sharing my journey and my experiences, good and bad. Though that has been the cornerstone of the whole channel. I'm celebrating 3 years of being here on YouTube. And like I said, the cornerstone of this channel was, is my dreads and the journey that I wanted to share with you guys. And so I've come up with a cool series. I have a bunch of questions here. And I have some questions written out on my laptop right there where I'm going to be asking, people have asked me questions about the Dreadlock journey, and I am going to address them. And this is part 3, I believe, of, the most frequently asked questions about dreads, part 3. Can you believe it? Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate you. All right, let's just hop into it. All right. So here's a really good question. All right. Are dreads or locks permanent? Great question. Great question. Okay, let me first say this, okay? I'm coming at this video in 2 ways. I'm coming to you as a personal dreadlock diva, Locknista Queen, who has had the experience of wearing locks and being on this journey for 23 years, okay? And I'm coming at this video from a professional standpoint of being a loctician for 20 years. So if my advice does not fly with you, toss it. If it doesn't apply, let that mess fly. Okay, I do want to say that. And I the reason why I preface that in all my videos when it comes to locks is because everyone has an opinion. Okay, everyone has an opinion, and there's nothing wrong with having an opinion. All right, and there's nothing wrong with saying, well, it worked for me. It's nothing wrong with that, and it's okay to be able to say, well, it didn't work for me. So, when I watch a lot of different lock videos and lock advice videos, and I see things, in Facebook groups or whatnot, everyone is throwing advice at you. There are people who are asking and people who are giving the advice. And I'm coming at you from 2 different viewpoints. And I've done a lot with my locks. I've done a lot with my hair as far as styling is concerned, and care and all of the things. And so when I come to you with advice, I'm coming to you with the best advice that I can possibly give based on those two avenues of experience. Okay? But as I said before, if it doesn't apply to you, let it fly. That's okay. Okay, so the first question I have, are locks permanent? Yes, they are. Locks are permanent. Now, can you get to a point where you'll say, I don't want my locks anymore and I want to cut them, or I want to unravel them? Sure, you can do that. But locks basically are permanent. All right. And knowing this should factor into whether or not you decide to grow a set of locks, because it's not that easy to unravel them once you get started. Okay. Or once you have been on the journey. If you've been on a journey for, 3, 4, 5, 20 years, it's going to be very difficult to unravel them and then, or untangle them. And then another thing to consider is that if you go into wearing locks or the lock journey thinking or believing that you can easily exit the journey, then what's the point of starting in the first place? You can easily wear a faux lock style, right? Where you get to test out how you feel about wearing locks before you commit to growing a set of dreads. So what I'm saying is locks are permanent, and you need to do your research, and research can also include wearing a set of faux locks before you make that final commitment to the journey. Because yes, locks are permanent. That doesn't mean that you may not reach a point where you have decided that you no longer want to wear locks. Then if that's the case, you can unravel them or you can cut them out. But those are two different processes, and both of those processes become permanent as well too. So yes, locks are permanent, a permanent style, a permanent lifestyle. However, it should not be one that's entered into lightly. That's why I always say that locks, for me, dreadlocks are a lifestyle. It's a journey, and it's not a hairstyle. Okay, hairstyles come and go. Locking or dreading, for me, is a permanent type of situation. It's a commitment to it. So that's something to consider if you are thinking about joining us on the lock journey. Okay. All right. So the next question is, now that you have locks and your locks have matured and you're seeing your loctician infrequently at this point, not as much as you were when you were starting your journey, what type of shampoo would I suggest, or what type of shampoo should you use, right? Well, I would suggest using Dr. Bronner's peppermint oil castle soap, all right, liquid soap. Why? Because it is 100% pure castle soap. It doesn't have any chemicals, and it doesn't produce residue or buildup, and it's peppermint oil soap. So that's really, really great. I've been using peppermint oil soap for 35 years now. I've been using it on my locks for 23 years, right? And no, that's not true. That's a lie. I've been using it on my hair for maybe about 21 years, because when I first started wearing locks, or I started growing locks, I continued the same maintenance routine that I had when I was just a naturalista. And so that consisted of some shampoo, conditioner, and hot oil treatment. And so I continued that practice, or that hair maintenance, into my lock journey, which was not a good idea. It turned out to be very detrimental to my locks. And because over-the-counter shampoos, what they do is they promote product buildup. And what shampoos are designed to do, they're designed to untangle hair, Okay, the chemicals in it is designed to untangle hair or detangle hair. And so with my locks, I don't want them to be I don't want them to be detangled. I want them to continue to stay matted. So you have to use shampoos that do not promote detangling, are chemical free, residue free, product free. And that's why I suggest either Dr. Bronner's or the whole Dr. Bronner's family, which is the lavender soap, eucalyptus, peppermint, whichever is your preference. Peppermint oil soap is my preference, but when it comes to shampoo, that's what I suggest. None of the over-the-counter stuff. Throw your Suave away. Throw your Neutrogena away. Throw that stuff away. You don't need it. You don't need it. Now that we're talking about shampooing, the next question is, should I condition my locks? The answer is definitely no. No. Do not use a conditioner on your locks. Why? Because conditioners detangle your locks. You don't need it. What conditioners do is they strip your hair. The shampoos strip your hair of moisture. The conditioners do the exact same thing to your locks. You don't need that on your locks. Now you may say, well, I want to condition my locks. What can I do? Well, here on the channel, I have several ways that you can condition and moisturize your locks. I have a homemade hot treatment oil, excuse me, recipe that you can use on your locks that will condition your locks. Because when we talk about conditioning our hair, what we want to do is promote hair that's going to be strong, right? That's going to be healthy and full of life and moisture, right? All of those things, not dry, right? So with my hot oil treatment that I have put here on the channel, it is really, really great for after shampooing. And all it is something basic. Okay, you want to know what it is? I'll tell you. It is coconut oil, all right? It is lavender oil. It is vitamin E oil. Okay, and it is it's another oil that I was using too, tea tree oil. What you do is you put those, I have the recipe on the channel, just go to the Dreadlock Love archive, and that recipe is there. You put those oils together, you put them in the microwave, heat it up, and then the next thing you know, put it in your scalp, put it on your scalp, put it, put it all in your scalp, put it on your locks, wrap your hair up in a scarf, okay, in a towel, and you can either decide to sit under a dryer, or you can just let it sit there. As you, for me, I don't use dryers to dry my hair, but you can just let it sit there and then do whatever it is you're going to do. For me, I like to plait my hair up. Or you can massage your scalp with it and then braid your locks or plait your locks up and go about your business. Add a little bit more the next day, to condition your locks. Because what we're really talking about is we're really talking about strengthening our locks. Okay, because that's what you're doing when you're conditioning your hair. You're trying to promote healthy hair, and you can do that without using a bottle that says conditioner on it that has a lot of chemicals in it. So should you use conditioner on your hair? No. But can you condition your hair? Yes, you can. There are oils and things that you can use that will condition your hair, strengthen it, and help to prevent breakage. Okay? All right. And here's the last question. The last question is, and it's really ridiculous, and that gets into, the stereotype of locks. Okay. This is a question that some people ask who are just want to start on their locking journey. They want to know, can insects, bugs, and creatures get into your locks? I'm going to answer that question, regardless of how ridiculous it may sound. Okay, here's the thing. All right. Insects creatures, bugs, and all of those things, yes, they can enter your locks. They can enter your hair, period. They can crawl into your hair or fly into your hair anyway, even if you didn't have locks. This goes into or feeds into that stereotype that wearing locks means that you are somehow nasty, you don't have good hygiene, you're lazy, you're poor. It feeds into that type of narrative, that type of urban myth or stereotype, which is incorrect. A lot of people, most of us, 100% of us lock or dreadlock wears, dreadlock divas, queens and kings and princesses. We love on our locks. We maintain our locks. We care for our locks. Okay. And we're not lazy people. You can't be lazy when you wear locks because you have to always be conscious of their health. You have to always be conscious of their strength. You have to do a lot of things to maintain your locks. Yes, it's a great a lifestyle. No, I don't have to sit at the hairstylist for 5 or 6 hours every Saturday. No, I don't have to do that. But I am very conscious about my locks because they are a part of me. Okay, they are part of the soul and spirit of Nell. So, when I hear people ask questions like, are you afraid that locks or spiders or some type of creature is going to be crawling around in your hair? I laugh because, hair is hair. All right. You can be lying on the beach and, a critter will crawl in your hair. No, I'm not worried or more worried than the average person about creatures crawling in my locks. Okay. Just because my hair is matted or locked or dreaded, that doesn't mean that it is a natural attractant of bugs. No. And guess what? I use a lot of, I use conditioning oils, all right, that I just talked about. And I like to spritz my hair with peppermint oil, inside of my little moisturizer water bottle that has distilled water in it. I have peppermint oil in it, lavender oil, all those things. So I live in Florida. So when I am out and about, my little moisturizer, hair oils and spritzers, they naturally repel mosquitoes and flies and bugs, okay? Because I don't like them either. I don't want them crawling on any parts of me. And, I've noticed that when I when I spritz it on my hair or on my body, it repels mosquitoes and things. So I've never worried about getting bugs trapped in my hair, even when I, didn't have locks. I was not concerned about bugs and things crawling in my hair. Sometimes we have to become educated, and every question is a good question, but sometimes we have to think about the origins of questions and where did that question originate from and why? Okay, and all right. So thank you so much for watching this episode of Simply Nell's Tiny Studio. I believe this is part 3 of my series of questions, most frequently asked questions about wearing dreads and dreadlock love and maintenance. But thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to like. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, please do so. And if you are a dreadlock diva, a Locknista queen or king, remember that videos drop, dreadlock love video, baby. Those videos drop every Wednesday here in the Tiny Studio. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop down in the comment section and do so. And if you would like to share your lock journey with other members of the Tiny or other subscribers of the Tiny Studio, please feel free to do so. All right. Share the love, share your knowledge, share your advice, share your journey. I'm your girl, Nell. Thank you so much for hanging out with me here in the Tiny Studio. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.